there, my lovely Legionnaires. The year is at its end, and I consumed quite a bit of things throughout. Lots of people do media threads on Twitter and the like, but I wanted to make a video for all of you. I'm going to mostly attribute this video's existence to Hazel, mainly because her video just seemed like a great way to do it. To that end, as the year went on, I cataloged everything I watched, read, and played right after I finished them, and some things after I dropped them. So that way I could tell you what I thought. I've also given everything a seal. Gold means it was great, and I can recommend it to you easily. Means it's a pick up and consume the moment you think it looks like it's for you. Silver means I liked it, but either it's a hard thing to recommend, its content's a little rough, it's a little niche, etc., or it just wasn't as good. Bronze means I did not like it and I cannot recommend it to you. Either it super wasn't for me, or it was just out and out bad. With all that out of the gate, let's go. I have a lot of things to share with you. I adore how everyone falls in love with Soletta immediately, because bitch me too! So cute. I adore her. One of the big draws for this show was its music, too. It's so amazing. Fuck, I'm not normally a mech person, but this made me want to give a few more to try after I spend every Sunday in tears. Great translation of the manga. I loved this fucking series. A beautifully constructed adaptation of a sweet and funny story. I'm so glad Tennis lived up to all my hopes and dreams. God, this anime was gorgeous, and I wish Mappa a very long time with their families. Some of the cinematography choices fucking floored me. I watched Himeno's death 100 times because the way that everything is framed and the shot itself is soul-crushing. It's amazing and beautiful, and I'm so stoked for more. I'm a big enough woman to admit that I had some preconceived notions about this one. Isekai have developed a horrible reputation, but this was apparently one of its progenitors, and that shows. The much slower pace, the keeping of Rudius' old voice, all thoughtful decisions that work in the story's service. This was the kind of story I wanted to see. It's a lot of careful storytelling that was clearly a labor of love. Can't wait for season 2. Fuck Haida! Jesus, the wishy-washy romance subplot was actually killing me, and then on top of all of it, his morals fold like tissue paper. Poser! Punk! Fuck him! Retsuko should have stayed with Tadano. I still think Agretsuko should have stayed with Tadano. I'm not a big fan of Haida just taking forever to not get shit. I don't know how much more they'll be doing, but I'm excited for more. The people hating really don't know how to have fun. Shit's getting goofier, and I'm okay with that. Shikabane is definitely up to something, and I'm nervously excited about it. This had me in tears, dude! Chisato is so sugar honey sweet, and I'm so happy for her and Takina. Action movie vibes with cute anime girls is the raw shit. I'm here for more like this. I'm also a sucker for assassin vows, never to kill aesthetic if my username wasn't your first clue. So this was pretty much guaranteed a smash hit for me. I recommend it highly. I baited myself again, boys! Oh well, I love a good redemption arc more than I like breathing, and having two great dads learn to love again via a precious little baby. What more could you want? Animation's a little stilted for an action show, but I don't give a singular fuck. I will be marrying Ray, and I cried 3 times, so winner, shut up. Gorgeous. Ai's death absolutely rocked me to my soul, and they did my girl Akane perfectly. She was so deeply upsetting in her sudden wearing of Ai on her sleeve. Horrifying, truly. I'm looking forward to the play arc. Here's hoping the manga stays good too. This was amazing, and everything I could have wanted out of the season. I'm fucking crushed and chewed up, and I am now deceased. Thank you. Please let everyone at Mappa have a very break. They earned it. Let them rest. I'm fucking vibrating, Legionnaires. I'm doing so good. My skin is clear. My heart is pure. I have lost at least 3 reasons why. I will regain these reasons if I do not get more. More, please, please, please. I don't get the hate for the new season. Genuinely, I don't. Your shonen-loving ADHD brains do not know how to handle a slower burn, and that shit shows. As soon as the story slows down and becomes drama and a personal struggle, y'all do not know how to act. I love it. I could make a whole video. I might, actually. Who knows? Surprisingly, just as good as it always has been! I have nothing more to add. Watch One Piece! So cute! Continued to be a pure dopamine drip directly into my veins. So happy about it. I'm so excited for the movie to come out. Just more of a good thing. Brooke actually recommended this one to me. I loved the show, though. Good taste, Brooke. Love the idea of this kind of story. Stuff where there is court drama, but not petty or shitty and weirdly still misogynistic despite being clearly written by a woman. This is everything I could have wanted out of something like this. Please pick it up. I have simply become so invested. It was a good season to be a tech girly until it super wasn't. While I, your local hunter girly, was also fed exquisite meals. It was their show this season. It also continued to be the long-held tradition of introducing things and then just never fucking talking about them again. Was that 10-story deer robot Zephotech? What will come of the Zillow Beast? Is Chuchi all right? All I know is fuck Tarkin, fuck Hemlock, I hope Rex and the Bad Batch burn that prison to the ground, and P.S., please learn what filler means. Yeah, okay, I get it now. I get what all of you are talking about. I loved this a lot and got so stupidly invested so quick. Rocky Start gave birth to peak Star Wars. Fuck yeah, I think this is some of my favorite. So good! I love to see what other cultures interpret Star Wars to be. I'm always down for more and more anime, but Jesus, this was so fucking cool! I love to see all kinds of shit like this. It's so amazing to see different cultures around the world interpret the same thing through the lens of who they are. My top 3, from 3 to 1, are Ao Song, Spy Dancer, and Screecher's Reach. That shouldn't surprise any of you. Pitch perfect! This has One Piece's heart and soul in every frame. The cast and crew clearly had nothing but love and joy for the series in their hearts, and it was absolutely immaculate. Pure joy on my end, too. Never hoped for a sequel so bad. Please give us more! Yeah, alright, I get it now. I get all the hype it had. This was beautiful and its story was compelling. Not compelling enough for me to play League, but from what I'm told, that's not where the good story shit is anyway. I think this is my least favorite Star Wars thing. I had fun with it and cried the moment I heard Hayden call her Snips, do not mistake me, but I don't know, I don't like Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka. I get bad things happening to her, making her the way that she is, but watching her go from fun-loving, wisecracking kid to another stoic Jedi for 5 out of 8 episodes just made me not want to finish Clone Wars, if I'm honest. Not if that's what I have to look forward to. It pulled itself around at the end, and I had fun. It's just a hard 7 in a sea of 9s and 10s. Wow, you really had me going in the first half, not gonna lie. Fuck, I was so disappointed by the end of this. It's great for people who want more Yu Yu Hakusho, but for me, the way that they completely truncated the entire best part of the Dark Tournament, meaning that there's no reason to have one in Season 2, really did upset me. I don't know. They squashed down the character of a lot of the best guys, too? I don't know. It was good, but just not at all what I wanted, and truly not a very good adaptation. I am literally always here for more monsters. Davis Felony is the only one besides me who cares about all the big gross monsters in Star Wars. I also don't care what any of the motherfuckers said. I want more funny people in Star Wars. That shit ruled. I love Jack Black. I'm here for more always. I DNF'd this one so hard. The premise of manga Dexter was interesting, but what it amounted to was more edgy torture porn. We got to chapter 2 before talking about rape, though, so that's an achievement, I guess. Ugh, there's a lot of these kinds of stories now. All gore, no substance. Chica is me for real, for real! I've never felt so seen when it comes to media, let alone manga! A mandatory must-read for all my fellow A-specs out there. Great themes of accepting your form of queerness regardless of what everyone thinks, and what works for you works for you. One spoiler, she is Ace Arrow and never gets a boyfriend. A win is a win. I feel physically attacked every time I pull up a new volume. I feel like Yamaguchi-sensei is standing outside my window with a bat, waiting for me so that he can strike me in the temple and leave me bleeding on the concrete, and then I just pay him for more of that experience. Fuck, this is me. It's just us emotionally assailing each other in the audience and hope they listen. Please read this if you're an artist. The fact that I read each chapter in a kind of twisted, abject dread means I think it's doing its job a little too well. I read each and every chapter because I am absolutely so deeply invested in the safety of this little girl. This is a whole new kind of horror. Jesus. Genuinely a great premise. Its ending felt a little rushed, because it was no doubt cancelled and had to be. I wanted to have a little more time building a more solid foundation to have it feel more like Demon Slayer's ending, but I'll definitely take what I can get. A hard recommend. I didn't know jack shit about Rakugo. I love to pick up hobby manga when I have no idea about the particular hobby, though, mainly because I love to learn things and listen to people talk passionately about the things they love. I'm so deeply invested in the very idea of Akane's father going to see her show, making me break down in tears. I'm so glad I can buy physical volumes now. I want to stuff this manga's art in my mouth. I want to chew it up and swallow it. I love it with all my heart. I need it in my life. This has a powerful grip on my throat. I am stoked for every monthly upload. I may have to start reading scans. Akasaka-sensei, I'm begging you not to fumble this in the second half. Please, I'm so invested in the beautiful story you've created here. I'm literally begging you not to fuck this up. The current movie arc is killing me. I will be curled up on the fucking floor if you ruin this shit when you've created such a good story, please! Hello, I am so currently so in love. As of writing, there's only one volume of the manga left in the series, and I am so deeply in love with Haru as a character. I hope she runs off with the man in the rain and rules the fucking world. This manga is absolutely soul-destroying as a woman, and I love seeing a fellow bad bitch succeed. I don't read a lot of slice of life or romance manga, so the ones I recommend on this list should say something. I picked up this manga because of a Hazel video and just loved everything about it. I keep using panels as expression practice, and I really love wholesome girl liking happening here, alongside it being just uproariously funny. Not a lot of romance manga pick up when the relationship is already established, but I like a lot of the ones that do. I think I fell in love with this manga fully after the introduction of Kamiya. It's so easy for there to be bitter girl versus girl drama, but to see it dissolved immediately with proper communication and empathy, then giving birth to a good, solid, wholesome friendship, struck me right in the throat. I'm so happy. I want them to be happy forever. God, the One Piece manga does nothing but hit. As of writing, I've been crying chapter after chapter. The most recent one had me actually curled up on the floor, sobbing. The depth of emotion that comes from this series is incredible. Oda-sensei's a master. Please read One Piece. I would like off this wild ride, Akutami-sensei! I am going to scrunch this cat! I cannot handle the oscillation between power scaling the concept of comedy to immediately spending an entire chapter just explaining how the 1,000-year-old curse that wants to destroy humanity can dodge arson charges, and be so deeply invested that I am shaking. I'm living for this shit. I hope I can be this good someday. I would like 5 minutes of motherfucking peace for this poor child. How is half of Jump beating me with bats? God damn it! I love them so much you don't understand. Shut up! I'm going to make a whole video essay about my love of Dress Up Darling, but I cannot convey to you that I am living and you should too! This manga is so aggressively wholesome and tooth decay sweet, it made me want to cosplay again. The true power of hobby manga! I love how this series' horror is portrayed. It's all the shit I absolutely adore, both aesthetically and in terms of its metaphor. This series is absolutely fucking fascinating. I will be studying it for months, if not years to come. Man, we really do have Chainsaw Man at home. When I told Avi about this one, his exact words were, if Chainsaw Man didn't exist, this would be so much cooler, but without Chainsaw Man, this wouldn't exist. And I can't bring myself to disagree. The first chapter was so promising. It was so interesting, and I said repeatedly that I crave overgrown, bright, floral horror, and this let me down so hard. I dropped it after chapter 4. If Wild Strawberry is great value Chainsaw Man, Shoujo Null is great value Elven Lied. I really wish people would learn what made Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch good. Yeah, Fujimoto stories are full of gore and nihilism, but they serve a purpose and have a goal. These things are just bitter and sad. Bluh. I DNF'd this one after chapter 2. I don't pick up a lot of TikTok recommendations anymore, mainly because I'm almost always disappointed, but this one was pretty neat. I love seeing pseudo-RPG fantasy where the protagonist is a support class instead of a main frontliner. Usually means there's gonna be more than just a power fantasy, and this is that for sure, but I'm liking it. It's not groundbreaking or anything, but it's good mid, and sometimes that's all you need. God, bitches really will socially engineer serial killers instead of getting therapy. Fuck. This one grabbed me pretty quick. I was so sure there'd be a twist to this one, but I called my shot totally wrong. I think I preferred it this way, though. Much more interesting story about isolation and pain. The artwork's amazing, too. You know, it has my seal of approval when I'm taking screenshots for art studies. Listen, sometimes you just need a bloody slasher, and this one scratched that itch perfectly. The gore in this one's brutal, but the difference between this and a few of the other ones on here that I wouldn't recommend is that it knows what it is and doesn't make an excuse. This is Final Destination. It's Friday the 13th. Head empty, only death. If you like good grindhouse splatter stories, recommend it highly. This was fucking gorgeous. Visually, narratively, absolutely devastating in the best kind of way. It's definitely a hard read and not what I'd call a fun one, but a deeply enriching experience. The nature of life and death laid out with some of the best paneling and sequential art I've ever seen. Another series I'm so glad got physical copies so I can add them to my collection. This was weirdly kind of cute. I think a lot of us ladies can relate to one bad breakup warping how we feel for a while. I can, certainly, since the last long-term relationship I was in ended in abuse. But I love both the art and the healing power of love in general, so big recommend for this one-shot. God, y'all have weak stomachs. I kept hearing about this series as like one of the most fucked up things ever, and maybe it gets like that later, but I got to the island arc and ended up just bored. If violence and sex is all you've got, then you've gotta try harder. Themes here would have been interesting if they leaned into them a little. This was a snooze fest. DNF'd. I was on a bit of a horror kick with manga, alright? Absolutely twisted in the best possible way. Depressing, gruesome story about the cycle of violence that ends on the weirdest wholesome note. I get why this was the talk of manga circles for a while. I'm really glad I read it. Interesting, but not enough to stick with, I think. I don't know, this kind of drama never really appeals to me. Maybe I don't have the sensibilities for it? I don't know. I'd recommend it if you like family dramas, but nothing about it was for me. I want to see this one through to its end, but I don't know. I liked the one-shot better. That's not to say the full series isn't good. I wouldn't have read 18 chapters and continued from there if it wasn't. I don't know, maybe I'm insane. Who can be sure? The premise is great, but I think for some of this would be a dry read. It's really elevated horror in feel. If Body Snatcher to Lovers is your thing, pick it up, I guess. Just know it's a little slow. At this point, I needed something to do during my daily breaks, so I just started surfing manga decks until I found something that caught my eye, and this is so cute. We love a girl saving cute girls from mortal peril. Satsuki's baby, I want to pinch her cheeks, adorable GL shit with a really cool supernatural premise. Big recommend. Pick this up. I hope it gets more popular. This is literally everything I could have ever wanted. It fucking slapped me across the face, handed me a cheeseburger combo, and told me that I was the only one. I can't recommend this to you enough. So much so that I'm definitely making a whole video talking about it. If you like stupid action shit and the idea of cool metaphorical things talking about religion in the face of God, just try Record of Ragnarok. 2-chapter meme manga. I was browsing manga decks and that chapter title hit me like a brick. This is so fucking funny. The bit's clever, and because it's only a 2-shot, it doesn't run its course too fast. It's quick, it's funny, I really liked it. This is one of the most interesting takes on the isekai genre that I think I've seen so far, and I'm totally enthralled. Various heroes and demon lords from other worlds appearing in the same one, and in that there are some fascinating discussions happening. The nature of heroism, what drives someone to evil, how deep does that evil run, how quickly can you be forced to throw away your humanity. This is a really interesting new one, and I really think you should pick it up. This is Endo's series before Spy Family, and I love picking up earlier works from creators I like. You can really see where their shit started out, and yeah, this is an Endo work. A cute child coming of age, complicated political intrigue, interesting world building. Oh yeah, it's so easy to see the roots of his skill. This series is cool! Y'all are just mean! I've been really digging this series' vibes. There's something particularly solid and distinctive about the way this manga's magic system functions that has me by the throat. Early chapters really bury deep into me, and I'm fascinated to see this develop. It's so cool, I'm so excited. Continues to be refreshing and fun to read. In other news, the sky is blue and water is wet. I'm really curious as to see where we're going as of the most recent chapter, especially with the new things we're learning about the Desmonds. I want to learn more about Anya's backstory, too, and I think that might be coming on the horizon from where we're at. Claudia Gray writes fanfiction and I pay money for it. There's your synopsis. What a time we live in. I fucking adored this book, start to finish. Banter was great, super unique voice, and admittedly Fanry's rage and fall was very cathartic. I get it. I felt it. Recommended. Surprise! Ryan Johnson does it again. I love these fun, clever mysteries starring this gay Louisiana man helping put rich white men in jail. If it's more of these or his Star Wars things, I'm having a real hard time deciding. I've forgotten how fucking stacked this cast was! I had a fucking absolute blast and weirdly hyped me up more for the Mario movie. I love that the movie didn't try to change Poe and embraced who he was fundamentally. That shit made me so happy inside. God, hearing Hero play at the end of this movie made me feel fucking ancient. Brooke's never seen the original Sam Raimi movies, so we ended up watching them together. God, we fucking peaked with Willem Dafoe's Norman Osborn, didn't we? We rewatched this one after one episode of Stampede. It reinforced that Johnny Young Bosch has to be Vash. I also need that Wolfwood's cleavage in my life. I love the theme of if saving someone makes you responsible for what they do after. Vash will be cleaning up his messes in perpetuity, it seems. Trite was the consistent word. Everything was so ham-fisted and weak that the few moments it genuinely had good scares and tension were totally destroyed. I can see through it like air, and its weird structure felt more like a bunch of random scenes shot for the trailer, then strung together. Bad, and not in a fun way. God, the studio's movies are fucking wild. Normally, movies like this, when written or directed by men, aren't very good, but this was really good. The way it snapped around in time actually really worked for its story, and I think while it was subtle as a brick to the jaw, its themes were well executed, unlike Don't Worry Darling. Fun, absolutely insane, great atmosphere, great tension. Tell me how the fuck this cheesy action movie actually made me well up. This movie's a fucking blast. It's absolutely what you think it is. David Harbour is a perfect Santa. God, this was so much peak Christmas cheer. A spectacular twist on slashers. This is really easily up there among some of my favorite horror movies, and there was no way to know where this was going. Amazing atmosphere, low on gore, no cannibalism, which I thought for sure was going to be a main mechanic of the story. Ralph Fiennes carries as the main villain. Absolutely immaculate. I forgot how much I liked this movie. It has a great sense of humor that I miss in good satire. I remember that most of the horror leads in these movies around this time were just fucking wildly unlikable, so having a cast of sweet, smart kids turned dumb is a good way around it. I really pictured the SCP Foundation as a little like this. Chris Hemsworth's flagging accent is a little distracting, but overall, good watch. How did this suck worse than when I saw it in theaters somehow. The hack job editing, the awful acting, the color correction and brightness making entire scenes fucking invisible. Garbo. They got the mythos wrong, and aside from some kinda cool imagery that I'm sure meant something in the last draft of this movie, dumpster. My one hot take is the Slender Man design is cool. Shut up. These movies are so themselves. It's one of the things I adore about it. Tom Hardy really sells being a proper buff baby girl. The effects still feel good and sticky, and the action is so good. Took forever to find a way to watch it, but it was totally worth the struggle. Absolute fucking art. Some of the most powerful acting performances in the whole of the MCU, and some of the strongest writing. The whole movie was amazing. Some of Marvel's best work so far. Also, Tenacuerta is so fine, and you motherfuckers are never allowed to talk shit about Quiet ever again. Beautifully animated, acted, and written. We're really in another animation renaissance, I can feel it. A lot of surprisingly dark and mature humor for this, but DreamWorks always pushes the boundary. I wasn't expecting a nuanced, complicated depiction of death and the fear of it in this fucking kids movie, but it came at a weird time, and honestly, I really needed it. Justin had never seen a Mel Brooks movie until recently. I think it's easily one of the weaker ones, and even then it's fucking hilarious. These movies age surprisingly well. I miss good physical comedy in movies like this. Justin is a huge Night at the Museum fan, and he couldn't resist the urge. I'll be honest, I went in with low expectations, but this was really fun. The animation had great bounce, and the acting was hilarious. The characters felt a little flanderized, but it made me giggle. I fucking adore this movie! Spectacular practicals, great acting, spot-on cinematography, this movie has it all. It's such a loving homage to a genre you can tell Robert Rodriguez absolutely adores. It's the stupidest, most over-the-top bullshit, and I love it so fucking much. Couldn't recommend it enough, even if Brooke had to watch most of it through her fingers. Dead fucking on! I was so worried it wasn't gonna have the right vibe. From party banter to spell use, very D&D. I'm upset Justice Smith didn't turn into a plant and we didn't see any flumps, but next time. Well, everyone was great. Hugh Grant was having so much fun. I'm so glad he enjoyed the hobby and his time with it. Here's hoping Dragon Heist is next. A Brooke choice for movie night. I've never seen it before now, but it was a blast. Really sweet and heartfelt, like, all of VeggieTales, right? You can really tell that love and care goes into these things. It makes me smile. I love it. Absolutely delightful! The story didn't have much of an arc, it was mostly a straight line, and pacing was a little quick, but honestly, I had a blast! I knew I'd have fun, and I did just that. It all had the heart that I hoped it would. Such a fun time. I think you can start picking up whose turn it was for movie nights after a little bit. That being said, I can't believe Jackie Chan fucking dies! I miss silly action movies like this. These are a fucking blast. Goofy, wildly over-the-top action and a magic subplot that sure is here. Things just kind of happened for 90 minutes, and I was so here for it. We had the chance to see this movie in theaters this year, and we canceled everything. I'm not gonna sing the praises of this movie enough. You know, it's so wild to look back on the OT and realize that they were just saying shit, though. Best world-building strategy. If I had a nickel for every kooky murder mystery Leslie Odom Jr. was a murder suspect in, I'd have 2 nickels, and I would like to have more. I'm starting to see the hullabaloo about this Poirot guy. Absolutely incredible. Endearing old man solves rich people crime is my shit. Brief moment to highlight the fucking amazing cinematography in this movie. Roof shots, well-placed one angles, beautiful long shots, edited so well you'd think they were oneers. Mwah! My compliments to the camera crew. My favorite Mel Brooks movie, personally. We had to educate Justin on good comedy. Proof that you can do offensive, edgy humor without punching down. A classic. The Muppets are always great, I don't know what to tell you. It cements that wholesome comedy is still great. You can break the fourth wall effectively. I will be humming the first time it happens for quite a while. I really fell in love with One Piece during the summer, okay? Shut up. What do you want from me? This continues to be my favorite One Piece movie. Easily. Things might change in later months, but for now it's for the best. I still listen to all the music and I cry big tears every time. I'm so happy Uta's canonically alive. So we started to go back through the movies for my weeks, and I love this movie too. I don't care what Ben says, I love heist movies, and it's the best shit in the world. Sanji's outfit is hot, Zoro gets to be the damsel in distress. I'm happy. On some Island of Dr. Moreau shit. Love it. Can always tell that Oda has a blast designing these huge, terrifying monsters. I'm always here for Nami just running shit. It's so good. So far, there hasn't been a bad One Piece movie. Oh, I understand now. Holy shit, what a masterwork. The crew really gets it. It's amazing. I'm so fucking excited for more. The story's pacing and construction are so much better, and its visuals, immaculate. Paced like a dream. Made SWAT an eldritch monster, gave me more reason to love Oscar Isaac and my boy Hobie. Hell yeah! I'm in love! You're telling me a queer coded this? I never could have guessed. I get why this had to be an indie project. It goes some places and it does some shit. I'm glad cool shit like this gets to be made in an era where nobody wants to make interesting and meaningful stuff for kids. Rules. This was the 20th anniversary movie, and boy can you tell, there's a lot of fan service affectionate, and I love the idea of Buggy being constantly teleported into the final boss rush against his will. Perfect sum of his character. Love Luffy smashing the treasure at the end though. Our boy really doesn't need a shortcut, he's gonna fucking do it. I love it. A Jackie Chan classic. Watching old Chinese kung fu movies from the 70s badly dubbed into English is always a blast. Plot light, fight heavy. Not much to say other than it's free on YouTube. I cannot believe I almost cried at the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. This had such a strong emotional core. It chose a theme and leaned all the way into it. Its cast amazing. I get most people probably didn't like that it was so slow, but it took a strong approach to its characters, and I appreciated the trade-off. I wish the horror had been a little more visceral and the animatronics in a little worse shape, but given that it really chose to lean more into how the animatronics were kids, to such an extent that it had me almost in tears, I'll eat those losses. I saw this movie an eternity ago, and I was reminded once again that I love a good Christmas movie. Tim Allen may be a fucking weirdo, but he really makes a good Santa. I'm here for the message that family can be two blended families loving each other and respecting each other after a separation. So good, so wholesome. I can't say that I'm Toriyama's biggest fan, but I always have a good time watching Dragon Ball. It's one of those things I won't seek out myself, but I won't kick out of bed for eating crackers either. Being vaguely aware of the original story, this is a way better rewrite for Broly's character. I'm happy with my time. I do not know how to explain to you how loud the high-pitched whistling was this whole movie. God, I think only dogs could hear it. Anyway, it really is the Star Wars we have at home, and I'm so glad that Disney told Snyder to kick rocks. It was the longest 2 hours of my life, and that was only partly because of the racism, so that should tell you something about that. Second movie, not as good as the first. I really liked this one at the end of it, but I think that I liked the first movie more. I didn't think that I'd like the cast as much either, but truly it's really great. I heard that they're doing a lot of improvising about stuff in Poirot's backstory, but I liked that, to be completely honest. I don't know what to tell you. I'm really excited for A Haunting in Venice. I got sent this game repeatedly by friends when it was just a demo, and I picked it up during the winter sale. I love these small organization-themed games like this and unpacking. It's so cozy. I loved the art style. Recommend if you want a tight, small-scope puzzler to kill some time with. Finished this even though I started it last year, but it's a great experience. Very true to a Lovecraftian style horror that had gameplay that didn't make me feel like I was wasting time between scares to increase playtime. Some great mechanical choices too. Main critique is that because the characters are able to die permanently, they're written a little flat. Otherwise, I couldn't recommend it enough. Listen, my fucking relaxation time is purely in resource management. I normally don't like roguelikes, but I kept finding that I was throwing myself at these walls over and over, and it was a surprising amount of fun. Good game. I keep finding myself doing 1 or 2 runs during breaks, and usually leaning towards the Burbs Tetris-style bag level-ups. I don't know why. I think it's just that extra grain in my rice. Who knows? Holy shit! The atmosphere, the music, pitch perfect! This game made me deeply uncomfortable in the rawest kind of way. I love the twist and the feeling of slowly going insane. Indies really are grabbing my hand and taking me to places I want to be, while AAA keeps letting me the fuck down. So good. I'm keeping my eye on Enigma Studios. Big ups. This was okay. Overall presentation and art style was cool, but the scares were pretty weak. A lot of jump scares and gore with an alright at best loop on its own just wasn't enough to carry it. I'd recommend it for newbies to the genre, but for veterans like me, it just kinda wasn't enough. At least the self-harm and suicide imagery wasn't exploitative and did in fact matter. God, another mid-horror game. The overall concept and vibe were really cool, but for the most part, I didn't think this one was very scary either. I love the idea of computer-based horror. I just feel like a lot of the swings at it don't hit the right way, so it hits the fence, it doesn't go over it. This one just read as an unbearably pretentious one, despite most of its symbolism being so on the nose I thought Avi wrote it. Was Mother gonna be my only hit this year? Humor is a little too hee-ho gamer for me. Lots of references that were way too on the nose, so they weren't exactly what I'd call funny. I liked the gameplay loop. A basic little RPG felt good to occupy an hour at a time, but it felt too sarcastic and eye-rolling for me. It came off less as a cute homage and a little, I hate to say it, cringe. Fucking boring! I've said over and over that this elevated horror shit can get bent. This game is every negative stereotype of indie horror. It's clearly about mental illness, but speaks half of its story and themes in fucking nothing metaphor that makes it feel deeper than it is. Gameplay's next to non-existent, black and white, no music, weird visuals. Ah! This is the exact bullshit I can't stand in junk like this. Boo! 0 stars, 2 thumbs down, wasted my time. You know your game's a failure when I am making jokes the entire time. How was the fucking fishing game one of the best little indie horrors I've played in this batch? You guys are slipping. I felt genuine tension and fear from this while venturing out in the boat at night, and had a fucking blast doing little mini-games throughout. This was so fucking fun, and still managed to grab me by the throat. It's a slow-ass burn though, so I wouldn't recommend it for people who aren't willing to take a long sit. Absolutely disgusting! It's been a hot minute since I finished something and needed a shower. I hate the mental illness rep here. It feels so romanticized and fetishy, with a whole section during a sex scene being about self-harm scars and, once again, making the player kill themselves. If that wasn't enough, the purple prose, the cringe dialogue, the lack of any real player input made it a weird slog. Everything about this felt like someone was trying to be smarter and more artistic than they actually are, but it ended up just nasty and gross. Bluch. I played this with a guide because I know my RPG Maker likes, and I needed it. Some of these puzzles are wild. I don't know how you'd ever get them without smacking your head into a few dozen deaths. Not to mention the true ending is... not great. I'm not a big fan of, ooh, the child molester who strangled you to death and cut your arms off to jerk off with later gets to be released from punishment because he was bullied too! Ugh. This one didn't age well. Time for another episode of Hiten recommends this highly, but it's still silver medaled. The atmosphere is pitch perfect, the combat engaging, the fear psychological, however, it deals in dark subject matter, is a special and brutal manner of difficult, and it's steeped in Lovecraftian, hard European misery. I love it, but not exactly something everyone else will. I have never played a single Pikmin until now. I've never picked a single man. However, I was absolutely fucking endeared. I love these little carrots with my whole heart, and I absolutely 100%ed this game. I have all the love in the world. You cannot stop me, they are perfect and sweet, I will protect my children. Indie games have no excuse anymore. This was made by a handful of people 10 years ago, and I haven't seen autism this good in my life. You can't do this to me. There's 2 more? Perfect idle game joy. This game is best if you want to fucking vibe with your audience. I played this game for hours and just got zen as fuck. Feels so good to do when you're just in a low power mood or need to keep your hands busy. Gives you a lot of creative freedom and even lets you keep PNGs of the stickers you make. Great, cozy vibes. An absolute banger! I love shit like this! This is how you do good campy slasher homages. The actors were spectacular. I never felt like I was out of the action for a second. You can tell this was made with love, and God, I hope there's more. This game just feels good to play. I don't know what to tell you. A fascinating little gameplay loop, and I get really into it off and on from now. It's really nice to just mix up the little potions and find new, more effective routes to make them every time. Absolutely adored this game. So tight and well put together with really capitalizing on the things I enjoy about Star Wars. I don't play a lot of AAA titles anymore, but when Justin wouldn't stop talking about it, I knew I was in for something fun. I'm really looking forward to picking up the sequel. The only thing keeping me from giving this a gold stamp was it's a little weird to play. It's got all the things I like in my sci-fi horror, which is saying something because I don't like sci-fi horror all that much. Its vibe is immaculately unreal, and it makes me so happy. I've been following this game for a while, and it was absolutely everything I could have ever wanted and more. It was pitch perfect. I hope I can make something that hits people in the face the way this did for me. I cannot recommend it to you enough. I love schlocky B-horror so fucking much, so when I saw this was on offer, had to pick it up for the subathon. It's great! I had just the best time in the whole world. It's a little dated in terms of its humor, but it really captures 70s grindhouse perfectly. Harrowing! Jesus, this game made my stomach twist into knots. Loved every miserable second of it. Dear Dream really went for a deep historical cut with this one, and I cannot pretend that they didn't nail it perfectly. I'm so excited for Dreadweight. This game makes me feel so stupid, and I love it. You can tell that this was made by nerds deep in the FGC, and good on. I'll definitely fiddle with this some more, but for now I suck hot ass, and I cannot think that far ahead. This is another one I followed for a while, but I ended up just kind of falling out of it. I don't know. I think there's too many features for me to really feel satisfied ending the day, and I kept feeling stonewalled in my progress. I don't know. Truly, I think if there wasn't a hard and fast time limit, I'd have enjoyed my time a little more. I wish you could have just noodled around for a while until you decided that you had good enough potions. I don't know. The game was fun, just not for me. And that's it! everything your friendly neighborhood warlock patron consumed in 2023. I'm glad that I did this. It really helped me look back on all the things I did this year and get to do one of my favorite things in the world, share those things with you. I hope something on this list made its way into your hands this year, and I've already started on my list for 2024, so we'll be right back here in January of next year. For now, I hope you enjoy the beginning of a brand new year, and see me here next time for all the new and exciting things we'll be doing together. Goodbye!